Loved ones of the victims are still processing, obviously, all of this. It's such a shock. Here's Sarah Milgram's grieving father, remembering her and reflecting on the future that she won't have.
Sarah's a wonderful girl, and she was as close to perfect as any human could be. She had a passion for learning, she had a passion for the environment, and she had a passion for Israel. It's all gone. We have great memories, but the future is gone. That's what's gone.
I want to bring in Meredith Jacobs, CEO of Jewish Women International and a friend of Sarah Milgram. First of all, I am so sorry for your loss. I can't even fathom what you must be going through. How are you? And what can you tell us about your friend?
Chris, thank you. And thank you for wanting to let people know who Sarah was. It was so, I'm reacting viscerally right now because this is the first time I heard that the murderer emptied his gun into Sarah. That's horrendous. She was, to meet her, kind and sweet, and was dedicated her life to peace and to building bridges. Her job at the embassy was the civil society coordinator. Her role and how we met was because she wanted to engage the community, not just the Jewish community, but anyone who worked in multi-faith, in creating partnerships and bridges. And when I met her, it was soon after October 7th, and we met for coffee. And we started talking, and she's the same age as my children. So I guess I connected with her the way a parent would. And I hear how her father talked about her and how we all describe our children as the most perfect beings. And she shared with me that she had just lost her entire friend group, that everyone she studied with on environmental studies abandoned her because of her support for Israel. And I said to her, hey, we have a young women's network. We have these dynamic young women who are, it's about mentoring and skill building and networking, but they're also a group that after October 7th very clearly supports Israel. Check it out, maybe make friends. And I think what gives me comfort right now is that in the 19 months since I met her, she did just that. The messages we've been getting from around the country for young women, she knew the way she pulled people in. Sarah and Yaron were actually on their way to Israel to celebrate the wedding of a friend she met through our network. And I guess while they were in Israel, they were going to meet his parents and, from what we hear, get engaged. And so to know that she had a community that loved her, that she had a partner who loved her. I know her colleagues at the embassy have shared with me that they think of her more as family than as a coworker. And that's who Sarah was. And devastating that it ended after 26 years when she was just at the beginning of all she and Yaron would do in their lives for the betterment of the world.
I think there's something profound about the story you tell, that someone who lost her friend was so deeply committed to this bridge building, to a cause, that was something that was a price she was willing to pay. Do you think there is something broader? Because it sounds to me like she was in many ways an educator, helping people understand that idea of reaching across to people who you may disagree with. Is there something broader she would want us to understand about the sacrifices people are making in their lives to do the work they believe is necessary and good, even if they're vilified or shunned for the choices they make?
I'm so glad you're asking that. That's a story I don't think has been told enough. We're hearing about college campuses, but not about young people in their 20s and the anti-Semitism they're facing, the hate they are facing. One of my young staffers has shared that at a previous workplace where she was the only Jewish staffer, she overheard one of her colleagues after October 7th say, well, what did the Jews expect? The hate that we are seeing online from posting about memories we have of Sarah and about Sarah saying she deserved it, it is terrifying. I have heard from young people who say that could have been them. That could have been one of their friends. Sarah and Yaron, unfortunately, represent how brave our young people have to be right now simply because they're Jewish, simply because they support Israel. This is absolutely a terrorist attack. He went after them because it was an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum that's about the role of the Jewish community in building DC, that it was an event that was sponsored by a Jewish organization, and that it was meant for young professionals who are dedicated to diplomacy and peace building. And that is horrendous and very, very sad that our young people have to be brave simply because they're Jewish.
It is unspeakably unforgivable that anyone has to be brave just because they are Jewish. And I can't imagine what this has been like for you and for your organization, Meredith Jacobs. But thank you for helping us to understand what was lost here. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.